Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Las Cruces. Welcome this morning. We're so glad you're here. I'm Doug Benson. This is Kay Crady. And we're going to start a couple songs here this morning. And so, Bob, you can stand if you're able, and otherwise, whatever is comfortable for you. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright.
The invisible Sarah is behind the screen.
Sarah's taking the day off today.
Yes.
Sorry, I got two things going on here. There it is. All right. I'll get some words in a second.
There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. You are my reflection. There is only one. Thank you.
Thank you. There's only one, and Sarah's in the room. Thank you, Doug and Kay, for stepping up this morning. Welcome, everybody. I am Reverend Bonnie, the community spiritual leader here. It's great to see everybody. I felt like the chickens came home to roost this morning. Look at everyone. It's wonderful. I missed you last week. Everybody's waving at each other. Hello to everyone online. I would like to welcome anyone visiting today for the first time as well. Hopefully you got a packet of information about who we are and that 10% discount to the bookstore in there. I would also like to take a moment. If you have lost anyone due to military service, please stand. And if you have served in the military, please stand. Okay, we would like to thank you for your service. Thank you. And thank you for any losses that you've experienced through that service. I know that we are still holding a vision for world peace, and in the meantime, we just recognize all those who are working on that behalf for us in this country. So a grateful Memorial Day to all of you this weekend. I have chosen to use grateful instead of happy in moments like this. So we're very grateful. Also, moving along with gratitude, we're looking toward our annual meeting, which is next Sunday. It's finally here. You've been hearing about it so long, I'm sure you're thrilled. It's next Sunday. We will have a potluck after the service, so please feel free to participate in that, but also feel free to stay whether you bring anything or not. And the meeting itself will start at 1. We do need a quorum of members. Members get to vote, but everyone's voice is welcome, so you're welcome to stay whether you're a member or not. And we are blessed with 2 people since we've sent out the annual letter, which goes out a month in advance. 2 people have stepped up saying they're willing to be on the board. Will, would you please stand? Will Kilroy is one of them. So he will be getting us a bio. You'll get to learn a little more about him, and we'll be nominating him from the floor. And Beth Leary is the other person who has stepped up. Yeah. So, and anyone else, we still have room for more. So if you're interested in stepping up, let us know, and we will get you on the agenda. And then the weekend with Yolanda Martinez is set. It will happen the last weekend of this month. Saturday will be the drum making workshop. June. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm already in June. See, thank you. The end of May out. June. The end of June, the 29th, will be the workshop, and then she'll be performing on Sunday the 30th, and then after the service, we'll do a drum circle. So anyone who has a drum is welcome to bring it and join the drum circle after the service on the 30th. And we're also looking into June, starting on the 11th. On Tuesdays for 4 weeks, Teresa will be facilitating a book release workshop on the Dennis Merritt Jones' new book called When Fear Speaks, Listen. And there's more information in a sign-up sheet for that in the social hall. And now switching hats, I'm also your platform assistant this morning. And so just to remind everyone that we do believe in the power of prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. And we have prayer requests in the back of the chairs. There's also a place where you can put in a prayer request online. And so feel free to fill one out and drop it in the offering plate as you leave, or in the can. We call it the God can because God can in the back. And we will pray over that with you for a couple weeks in our group that meets on Tuesday afternoons over Zoom. And it's made up of all the practitioners, ministers, teachers of the 4 New Thought centers that are here in town. And after the service, those wearing a stole, Liliane doesn't have hers on because she's speaking, but the practitioners are here to pray with you after the service. If there's anything you would like a short prayer for, please see them. And so now it is time for song, silence, and prayer. In this moment, I am hope. Hope is this moment. Hope, hope, hope. This moment is what I am. In this moment, I am light. Light is this moment. Light, light, light. This moment is what I am. In this moment, I am still. Still is this moment. Still, still, still. This moment is what I am. So in the stillness of this moment, we just recognize Spirit as it moves in and through each one of us, recognizing the wholeness that we are, the light that we are, and the love that we are in all the lives of those that we experience and that we touch. And so in gratitude, we give thanks for today, for the coming together of this group of people, this time together, the words that are going to be shared with us by Liliane, the music, and all the technology that makes it possible for everyone to join us who's not in this room. So we're grateful, and we just release and bless this time together as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. And the reading this morning is by Hafiz, yes, called Skinning Your Knees on God. Little by little, you will turn into stars. Even then, my dear, you will only be a crawling infant, still skinning your knees on God. Little by little, you will turn into the whole sweet, amorous universe in heat on a wild spring night, and become so free in a wonderful secret and pure love that flows from a conscious, one-pointed, infinite need for light. Even then, my dear, the beloved will have fulfilled just a fraction of a promise he wrote upon your heart. When your soul begins to ever bloom and laugh and spin in eternal ecstasy, oh, little by little, you will turn into God. And so it is. Music.
I didn't know you were looking for me. Yeah. Climb every mountain, search high and low, follow every byway, every path you know. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream, a dream that will need all the love you can give, every step of your life, for as long as you live. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream. A dream that will need all the love you can give, every step of your life, for as long as you live. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your
All right. Thank you, Sergio. All the talent has come home to roost today, too. So thank you for all the musicians that have stepped up today. And our speaker this morning is Liliane Pilot, who has spent much of her life as a spiritual seeker. She is an artist, a writer, a speaker, teacher, and musician. And for 10 years, Lily was part of the CSL Music Ministry in Canada, Edmonton, and earned her practitioner's license in 2012. She's also trained in the use of sound and music in healing, was a licensed practical nurse, and a bunch of other things, all of which have informed her spiritual journey. Of late, she's been serving the Unity Church in El Paso because they are without a minister as well, so they've been blessed to hear her speak a lot down there of late. Every 2 weeks she's down there. Don't go. Stay here. We want you here. She now runs a nature retreat and art gallery with her husband, Doug, and is happily nestled right here, as well as in El Paso, in the loving arms of CSL Las Cruces. Please welcome Liliane Pilot.
Beautiful, beautiful job on that poem, by the way. I was teasing Reverend Bonnie a little bit, but I shouldn't, because she's so very, very talented. Good morning. Wow, I didn't know how many people were here. I've been sitting in the front row. Hi, y'all. Oh, skinning our knees on God, huh? I'm going to start by just talking about a thing called the flywheel effect. Is there anyone here who knows what that is? And I should check. Can everyone hear me? Okay, good. So does anyone here know what the flywheel effect is? You know what? I'm sorry, but do we have the little hearing boost things? I'll just pick it up. That's what I'll do. I'm going to speak like this today. Okay, not for the whole thing. But the flywheel is a little mechanism that no matter how inconsistent the force is put on it, it sort of smooths out the motion and makes the final result operate smoothly. It's an in-between bit. That's a really rudimentary description. Unless somebody else would like to come and expand on that. Anyway, it's kind of like a pottery wheel. You know, you push your foot, and that's not a very even motion, but the flywheel then makes the table on the top go absolutely smoothly so you can build your pot. Similar. But this book is basically saying that the process on the road to success resembles relentlessly pushing a giant heavy flywheel turn upon turn and building momentum until a point of breakthrough and beyond. And that breakthrough is where all of our grand happens. So this is very much about process, and I can see the reasoning in the analogy, but there's a really interesting paradox in there. We live in the material world, I think, and so very much like time, process is one of those things that just seems to march on. And we always seem to be in the process of something or other, don't we? You're in the process of having a treasure sale, or you're in the process of learning a new song, or whatever the thing is. But, and this is a big but, and I don't usually stand here and talk about big buts, but here I go today. There's no spot where God is not. There will never be more God than there is right here in this moment. So if God is everywhere present across all space and time, and God is perfection, then where is process? We either are or we ain't. We might consider placing this demand on ourselves to live, to behave like there isn't any process. God is, I am, remember the truth, be the truth. This is the high teaching. Now this Hafiz poem that Reverend Bonnie read suggests process as little by little we turn into God, but I don't think he means the truth of who we are is a process, only our ability to understand it. So we identify with process as we move through our own spiritual journey, and that journey, as Hafiz describes, is so rich and deep and delicious. How could we not want to wrap ourselves up in it? This is one of the great spiritual paradoxes. Only the journey appears as process, the remembering. We work our way through the good and the great, all the while knowing we are already grand, we are already divine. Now, Holmes refers to this in terms of healing, and I'm sure you've heard the phrase, nothing healed, truth revealed. Healing isn't a process, but a revelation. As he says, healing is not a process, but a revelation, for the revealing of the perfect man always heals. The revealing of the perfect man always heals. The process, if there is one, is the time and thought that it takes to arrive at the correct understanding of man's perfect state in spirit. That comes from the Science of Mind text. So for most of us, unless we have carved our own path to full realization, we will choose teachers as they come into our lives. And there's a lot of them out there. There's some incredibly enlightened people. And then there are some, and remember we got a lot of social media on this planet right now, there are some who are maybe a little more self-proclaimed, so you want to be discerning about that one. And there's one fellow I like at the moment, his name is Sadhguru. And I want to say here, the term guru is kind of misunderstood in our culture. So let's just think of a guru as a teacher. So Sadhguru used to be married and ride a motorcycle and all kinds of things one might not picture a guru doing. He's just a guy who had some experiences and chose to act on them, chose to bring those deep mystical experiences into his life and move forward. So he says, every day in the morning, start your day with this simple thought in your mind that today, wherever I go, I will create a peaceful, loving, and joyful world. If you fall down 100 times in a day, what does it matter? For a committed man, there's no such thing as failure. If you fall down 100 times, 100 lessons to be learned. If you commit yourself like this to creating what you really care for, now your mind gets organized. And once your mind is organized, the way you think is the way you feel. Your emotional will get organized. Once your thought and emotion is organized, your energies will get organized in the same direction. And once your thought, emotion, and energies are organized, your very body will get organized. So once all these four are organized in one direction, your ability to create and manifest what you want is phenomenal. You are the creator in many ways. Isn't that grand? So let's talk about that peace, love, and joy. I commit every day to generating peace, love, and joy in all of my interactions and in all that I come to and in all that comes to me. So many of you, I'm sure, have heard about the Ho'oponopono practice. It's the simplest translation of this Hawaiian word is to make right. And the practice is about cleansing ourselves to restore balance. So the practice is I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, that's that cosmic love is the truth of who we are, love. I'm sorry across all space and time for anything that I may have done in any incarnation that could be contributing to this distress that you are having right now. Please forgive me. And thank you for having the courage and the love, the deep love, to bring the situation in front of me so that I can have the opportunity to cleanse myself. That's what the practice means. It means each of us has 100% responsibility for what happens, not just our own actions. And if we take complete responsibility for our lives, then everything we experience, we are responsible for because it's in our life. Total responsibility means that everything exists as a projection that came from within us, across the space and time of our own history, our own existence. There's a writer named Sita Khalsa who wrote an article about Dr. Hugh Len, and that's the guy who kind of made popular this Ho'oponopono thing. And Sita gave the analogy of a party. So everyone is at the same place with the same food and the same drink and the same music and the same atmosphere, same building. They're at a party. And some are going to be bored, and others will be having a fantastic time, and some will think it's really super fun, and some will think, well, it was a very low-key event, wasn't it? Some will be talkative, I can't imagine who. Some will be silent. And if you were to conduct brain scans of all of those people right then and there, it would show how different areas of the brain have come alive in different people, and how different perceptions are from one person to the next. So it seems clear that whatever you perceive as the world is your world. It's the projection of your own mind. So ultimately, this practice is about cleansing yourself of all subconscious memory. Clean, erase, and find your own Shangri-La. Where? Within yourself. The process is essentially about complete freedom from the past. My peace I give to you. My peace I leave with you. Not the world's peace, but only my peace. The peace of I. So love, we're going to have peace, love, and joy. Love is a synonym for spirit. Every person, interaction, and experience is a holy moment of love, even when it doesn't feel like it. So within every moment of discomfort, discontent, or dis-ease, the energy of love resides within. So how do we intentionally tap into that when we're struggling with something? By choosing love time and time again at the beginning of every day. You wake up and choose love. As spiritual beings, our job isn't just to pray for someone's highest good. You know, people who irritate us or moments that challenge us are actually invitations to go within and shift ourselves to a position of love. Hard work? Sometimes, yes, indeedy. But our growth from good to great to grand requires us to just lean into this principle of love. Love is handling the situation. By starting our day consciously in this awareness, we have a divine opportunity to bring love to every single thing that we do. And now for joy. It's time for joy. I should have done that song today. Oh well. Rumi wrote this, and I love this. I guess I'm heavy into the Persian poets today, and yesterday, and probably tomorrow. I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy and my heart too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance the sacred dance of life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up, and to lift others up. O Sacred One, untangle my feet from all that trap. Free my soul that we might dance and that our dancing might be infectious. Peace, love, joy. You know, I've seen it on buttons, peace, love, joy, but it doesn't really carry the full depth of it, does it? What an aspiration. Excuse me. I think essentially back to the guru, we all like the idea of a guru, of a teacher, someone to guide us through the maze of being a human. A friend of mine met the Dalai Lama once and told me how his energy, just being in the room with him was such an amazing experience, sitting with somebody who has been so steeped in an illumined state of mind that they just emanate peace. It's palpable. And when people who are in that state speak, hearts listen. And I myself have had the very great fortune to have had several amazing teachers come into my life, and I really value the gifts that have been given to me. But at the end of the day, they're still people, and all of us are susceptible to human foible. So seek a guru if you wish, but do not put them on a pedestal. They too are on a human journey. And if they're the real deal, they're just trying to help you see your own authentic nature and the way that we are all joined in that authentic nature, united in it. He that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do. John 14:12. So this is a bit of a lead up to a really weird thing that happened for me. A few months ago, someone said that in me they felt they had found their guru, and I was, my immediate reaction was, yikes! You know, do not put the weight of that expectation on me, boy. And, you know, how could I consider thinking of myself in that way? No. And then I thought, you know, I've spent much of my adult life seeking answers to the questions that we all ask. And if I'm asked to share what I've learned, then I'm just dancing with like-minded people. We've all come together to dance together. So none of this elevates me over anyone who might choose to listen. It's just my work to do. We're all teachers, and we should all share what we know. Otherwise, how do we evolve as people and as a human race? But I admit, I reeled significantly over that thought for a few days until I found balance with it. And I did note it rekindled a distant memory that I thought I had put to rest and still kind of wish I'd put to rest. So long ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was someone I knew who would call on me when they were in crisis and to help them work through what their troubling situation du jour. And I cared about them. I cared if they were well or happy. And they expressed numerous times, how much I'd helped them and how much they'd learned from me. And, well, it's possible a little tiny bit of ego got involved in that exchange. I began to think that they saw me as a teacher or a guide, and I was happy to be that person, right up until I wasn't. And I think, you know, over time we just sort of shifted from just hanging out to once in a while, in fact it wasn't even very often, but to always dealing with a problem. And I started to feel like I wasn't up to it. I started to cringe when I got a phone call. It was like, what now? Has this ever happened to anybody? You ever had a friendship like that? Anyway, one day they reached out. I gave significantly less than was expected, and as happens sometimes, the conversation went sideways and then it went altogether downhill. And in retrospect, I'm not happy with how I handled my part. At the time, I didn't understand what had happened. It was clear to me they wanted something I couldn't give, but I felt hurt by the acerbic shots being fired across my bow. I couldn't see how I was being triggered by that and how my subsequent responses were unneeded. As Mary Lynn's song used to be, is it kind and true and needed? It wasn't as kind as it could have been. Truth, well, what is truth unchanging law, and I definitely didn't need to say it. So, you know, like a cat will pretend to bite you when they're not getting quite enough attention, I got a pretend bite, letting, you know, the cat letting its owner know that its needs aren't being met. But I thought they were real bites, and I responded accordingly. So I've since thought, you know, this memory came up, and I've thought a lot about my role as a practitioner and about our community values, which Reverend Bonnie read aloud last week. And it's a beautiful document. I really love it. We agree to treat each other lovingly, gently, and with respect in our thoughts, words, and actions, whether we are in each other's presence or not. Raise your hand if you are steadfast with this in every moment in your life. Yeah, me too. We look for the highest and best in each other and to surrender to our true nature, to love. What a great reminder. And maybe we should print copies of that and leave them at the table for everyone to get. And I'm going to put mine on my bathroom mirror where I can see it every single day.
You'll get one next week.
Except I'll be speaking in El Paso next week. So email me. Anyway, you know, going back to the memory of that situation, I was able to see my role more clearly. I had allowed ego to creep in, perhaps thinking I was more evolved somehow. The person asking for help was no more or less divine. They were just struggling with something they felt like they couldn't tackle on their own, and I didn't fully respect them as a fellow soul. So, these things are on a sliding scale, right? It's not like I was here and the expectation was here, but I was more like here, and I could have been way further over there. It also caused me to give a lot of thought to how and why I help when I'm called upon to do so. Do I want people to think well of me? Well, sure I do. Anyone in the room want people to just really not like them? But that brings me to what you think of me is none of my business, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But I'm also, again, nothing's this black and white, I'm also a firm believer in the teamwork that's required for us to be a successful human race. So why am I telling you all of this? Any takers? This is the stuff of life that gets in between our good and our grand. When we have conflicts, we feel hurt, we feel confused. All these feelings conspire to hide our own true nature from ourselves. These feelings don't destroy love, but over time, they shroud our ability to perceive it. It's like when a storm comes rolling in and gray clouds take over the sky and all of a sudden the sun seems to disappear. Now, if the storm blows through quickly, we think nothing of it. There might be a little bit of residual left at a cellular level, but oh well. Our feelings, if it's a real tormenta, our feelings are closer to the surface. And if we live in a total climate of dull and gray, we could forget there even is a sun. So where do you fall on that spectrum right now in this moment, or when you woke up this morning, or maybe check again later today? And all of this is where good falls. How are you today? Not so good. I had a falling out with someone and it feels yucky. How are you today? Good. Life's rolling along, tickety-boo. It's all non-committal, average. It's the stick of duality. And we get stuck in that stick of duality. We get stuck in this is good and this is bad. So we're always in judgment about how things are rolling along. Always a constant ongoing analysis. So let's try this. How are you today? Great. This and this and this happened. I'm so happy and excited and grateful. Well, all of that's awesome, but we're still on that stick of duality. I'm great because this happened, and I might not be great if that happens. We're still on that judgment scale. So, how about we step it up one more notch? How are you today? I'm grand. I'm seated. Okay, it wouldn't really be like that. How are we today? I'm grand. I'm grand. I'm seated firmly in the vantage point that living from a standpoint of principle and truth offers. I'm identifying with my own Christed nature, and I'm basking in the glow of the one altogether lovely. How are you today? I'm grand. And truth be told, I had a grand morning. I had this amazing mystical experience driving here through that spot in the desert where I always have some kind of download, and it was really quite remarkable. So this grand sense, this grand state isn't modified by circumstance, cranky interactions, judgment. It's just an elevated viewing platform from which to perceive the divinity in all of life. This is when we are on fire. My sister had this great analogy. She said, think of burning wood in the fireplace. So you've got the fire, and it sits on the grate, and the ash, the good, falls through to the bottom. And you know, ash really is, it's good stuff. You can make soap with it, and fertilizer, and fix the soil, and all kinds of stuff. Good old ash. A great grate and a grand fire. A bunch of words, isn't it? So how are we today? All right. It's just an awareness, right? It's it's just an opportunity to just do a self-check and go, where am I today? And if I'm in good or great, how can I bump myself into a higher awareness? So I've been working with a counselor for about 6 months because I wanted to explore more tools for living with neurodiversity. And I'd put it off for a long time because I thought my spiritual training gave me plenty of tools. What do I need that for? But it turns out you can never have too many tools. If any of you ever use spanners or Allen wrenches, you know you got to have them in all sizes, in metric and in standard. And if it's a specialized piece of equipment, you need even more tools. You see where I'm going with this. So I admitted first that when I started working with this woman, I didn't think it was going anywhere, and I wasn't possibly in the best frame of mind for, I was showing up, but I wasn't showing up. And then the other day, we just had this marvelous talk. We offered each other illuminations. We just shared. We laughed. It was just great. I was like, wow, I really felt like I got something out of that. And she showed me a great new tool. And this is a tricky one because you got to back the ego down to pretty much zero. She said, her husband taught her this, and she just finds it incredibly powerful, to prostrate yourself, literally, like not in front of the person, but, if you're having a situation with someone or just something that's happening in your life, get down on your knees, bum up in the air, arms and torso stretched out in front of you, like the baby pose in yoga, and literally yield yourself to the divine seed that is planted in whatever that situation is, because there is one. It's in there somewhere. You might not be able to see it. You might be having trouble getting to it. Doesn't mean that it's not there. And I actually have done this a couple of times now, and it's profound. You have to get past your mind while you're on the floor with your bum up in the air, but as soon as you can move past that, you're on a golden roller coaster. So when we bump up against people, it's important to remember these are the souls that have come to do this incarnation with you. Love them and love yourself. All the people in your life have agreed to be part of your journey, whether it's easy or hard, fun or not so fun. So think of somebody who has come to play a role in your life and it's maybe been less than desirable for them. Maybe they didn't have such a good time being with you in that situation. Or maybe you've carried bad feelings, but their presence has really taught you something. Maybe started a chain reaction of events that's led you to a beautiful and perfect self today. And, we get stuck in our minds. It's hard to think of forgiving them, let alone thanking them or prostrating yourself to them. But I submit that at a soul level, they agreed to come and do this for you, even though it wasn't going to be a really good gig for them either. As Mother Teresa said, if we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. So I said I'd get back to what you think of me is none of my business. This is one of my favorites. Of course, we usually think of this when somebody has said something that we don't like. So, well, there's an easy, quick defense. What you think of me is none of my business. So there. But we need to apply this to both ends of the stick. If it's true across the board, right? What you think of me is none of my business. Oh, I just think you are so incredible. That's back to that little falling off the pedestal business. I think you're so incredible. Well, thanks for that. And inwardly, it's not a rude thing what you think of me is none of my business. It's just a clarification in the self. Your perception of me doesn't really have anything to do with who and whose I am. So I'm going to stay constant in that, and you can go ahead and applaud me or kick me in the bum, but either way, I'm still seated firmly in the truth of who and whose I am. The only thing that matters at the end of the day, past the niceties of relationship and community and connection and all that good stuff, is our relationship with God. And when we forget that and put too much emphasis on what other people think, good or bad, we get thrown off balance. And we forget to see the divine in ourselves and in them. Hafiz, again, I love Hafiz. He wrote, "There is a game we should play, and it goes like this. We hold hands, and we look into each other's eyes, and we scan each other's faces. And then I say, 'Now tell me a difference you see between us.' And you might respond, 'Hafiz, your nose is 10 times bigger than mine.' And then I would say, 'Yes, my dear, almost 10 times. But let's keep playing. Let's go deeper. Go deeper. For if we do, our spirits will embrace and interweave, and our union will be so glorious that even God will not be able to tell us apart.' There's a wonderful game we should play with everyone, and it goes like this. So, and so. We all have differences, yeah? Physical characteristics, how we're wired, the experiences that shape us. And the thing about having so many people on the planet is that it multiplies the potential to find others like ourselves, those that we feel we resonate with. We call them our tribe, and we gravitate towards them. And some tribes practice kindness and love. I'd say this was a pretty darn fine tribe that we have right here. Some practice judgment and hate. It's up to us to choose what kind of a life we want to live. But there's so much anger in the world. And what is anger but one of the faces of fear? Anger does not and cannot destroy love. It just blocks the view. It destroys our ability to accept love as the unifying force field of realignment that holds us all in the light. We are each and every single one of us divine in nature. We are perfect in our imperfection, as the Japanese Enso says. We're all shaped by this world that we live in, but we get to choose how we want to live in it. We get to choose what to take on board and what to just leave behind, what to let fall through the grate. My personal guideline is about conscious awareness. Am I applying at least a portion of the day to elevated ideas, to identification with the divine state, to gratitude, to wonder? This is the path that resonates for me. And will I make poor choices sometimes? Almost certainly. Will I be buffeted by the winds of emotion, triggered by childhood imprints? Sure. Happens to everybody. But the choice is always mine to reflect and to set a new course for grander shores. It's just such a great reminder that life is grand. We are grand. So let's act like it. So I invite you to take a breath with me. Take that one unifying breath of the air that we all breathe. The air filled with oxygen the forests give us. The air that has moved around this planet across all time. The breath of life that breathes all of us. Because there is one breath of life, breathing me, breathing you, and breathing all of life. I breathe deeply of that breath of life, knowing that it is imbued with and thus imbuing me with the full potential of creative power, of the grand expansion into the fullest, most joyful, most beautiful, most precious life. And I cannot help but be filled with gratitude and filled with love. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Thank you, Liliane. That was, I don't know, I have to think of the right words for it. But it was grand. There we go. That was grand. The song, some of you have heard it several times. So feel free to sing along if you like. These Hands by Dave Gunning. Some hands have held the world together. Some hands have fought in wars forever. Tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? Some hands have blessed 1,000,000 people. Some hands helped free the world from evil. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? Some hands can stop a life from dying. Some hands comfort a baby's crying. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? I want to sing it from my heart. I want to hear it in the wind till it blows round the world and comes back again. And all that we can ask is for others to be free, to use them when we want, for whatever the need. Some hands give voice to a nation. Some hands wrote the times they are a-changin'. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine?
As we are grand expressions, what shall we do? I love that. Perfect song. And thank you, Liliane, again for your message. I love it when I get taught something. Thank you. I appreciate it. And again, thank you to our musicians who have stepped up today. And it was wonderful, and I just know Sarah is blessed wherever she is and experiencing the good. And so are all of the people that aren't here. We're holding some people in our prayers who are challenged with some health things right now, so we'll just see that revealing taking place of their wholeness, and I am so grateful for that. And now is our time to think about giving back and supporting this center. This month, this is our last Sunday in May, we have been tithing to Mesilla Valley Hospice, 10% of all that's come through here, because Reverend Bonnie Allen Rice used to work there, and that's where she spent her last days. So in her honor, we're tithing to Mesilla Valley Hospice this month. So if you'll join me, we will say our blessing together. That's Bob's cue. There we go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me. And we will sing, I am so blessed. And you can think I am so grand at the same time.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I hope you sing that all week long and feel the blessings of all that you got from today. And so please remember that practitioners are here to pray with you after the service, or put in a little prayer request if you'd like. And tell us also the gratitude card, how Spirit's showing up for you. We love to see that as well. What are we singing to close with today?
Go out and shine. We got it, Bob?
Go out and shine. That's a good one too. Go out and shine.
Enjoy the ride. Let kindness be your guide. You gotta go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one hand, one heart. Wanna change to make a start. We're one big family. What's good for you is good for me. Come on and go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine.
Shine that grand light, everybody. Thank you again, Liliane, and to our musicians. Have a great week.